Hello guys, this is the third tutorial video for Accounting 101 presented by NotePlus.com. I'm Kobe Huan and I'm going to explain to you today time value of money. So time value of money simply means $1 in the future is worth more than $1 right now. So let's draw a timeline to illustrate that. Oops, sorry. So the beginning, the present value 2017, which is this year, and compare the value in 2020. So the $1 in 2020 is definitely worth less than $1 right now. So what does that mean? Let's illustrate through an example. Let's assume that if you put money in the bank, you will earn 20% in interest. Although this may be a little bit higher than real life, but we just assume that we are living in an ideal world. So now let's say I'm giving you three options. For the first option, I'm giving you $100 right now. Right now. And for the second option, I will give you $120 1 year from now. 1 year from now. And for the last option, I will give you $125 in 2 years. So 2 years from now. So let's assume that you will get the money in the future with guarantee. In other words, it is risk-free. And we also assume that you do not need the money right now to pay for your girlfriend's flowers, so you will save the money in the bank. So now, which option would you prefer? Before I answer this question, let's talk about the definition of present value and future value first. So let me draw a timeline to illustrate that. So from 2017, which is this year, to 2018, which is next year. The money you get right now in 2017 is a present value. In 2018, it will be a future value, right? So the future value of $100 that you get right now should be $100 plus interest that you will earn by saving money in the bank. Where did that come from? But when you save money in the bank, earning 20% interest, this money will be added to your present value to calculate your future value, right? This is essentially what future value means. So the $100 is the present value. So I'm simply just gonna use this equation to calculate the future value. So that's PV times 1 plus R to the power n. So R is the interest rate, in this case 20%, right? And n is the period, in this case is 1 year, which is period 1 period. So clearly, if I use $100, which is my present value, times 1 plus 20% to the power of 1, I should be able to get my future value. Right. And in addition, you don't have to calculate that. So the bracket over here, you can actually plug in R equals to 20%, N equals to 1. Plug it into your table A, you should get the exact value as this what this bracket is equal to. So which is 1.2, right? So if you plug it into table A, you should get exactly the same value. So as you can see, $100 times 1.2 is $120. So that is your future value. So the $20 is interest that you earn by saving money in the bank. So the future value is $120. Right. So as you can see, the future value is equal to the option B, which is also $120. So we are indifferent between option A and option B because it's giving us the same money, which is $120. So this is where you need to be very careful, because when in order to compare which value is bigger, you need to convert them to the same value. So either to present value or future value, I don't care, but make sure they are in the same time period. In this case, I converted the present value of $100 to its future value of $120. I can do it the other way around, right? So when I have the future value of $120, which is my option B, I can put the $120 inside my equation and use $120 divided by the bracket to get my present value, which is $100, is exactly the same thing. So for those of you who are struggling with rearranging algebra, who is not a big fan of this, I would recommend using this way, right? Use the put in the real number. So 40 equals to 5 times 8. So in order to get 5, you use 40 divided by 8, right? So in this case, the 40 is essentially your future value, or $120. And 5 is your present value, and A is your stuff in the bracket, which is your table A value, right? So in order to get your 5, you use your 40 divided by 8, use your $120 divided by your bracket, the stuff in the bracket. And again, the bracket is basically a table A value. When you're plugging R equals to 20% and N equals to 1 year, this should give you the same value as this, right? So that equals 120 divided by 1.2, and that should equals $100, which is your present value. All right, when you compare this $100 present value from option B is exactly the same as your option A, which is getting $100 right now, today, right? Right, so now let's look at the last option. Again, there are two ways of doing that. You can either convert the $125, which is the future value, to a present value, or you can do it the other way around. So I will only show you converting to the present value in this video, and I encourage you to do the other way around yourself, which should give you the exact result. Right, so we are using the same equation here. Essentially, all I need to do is to plug in my future value of $125, interest rate of 20% into the equation, right? So that blue area is your table A value. So $125 equals present value times 1 plus 20% to the power of not 1 this time, is 2, because you have 2 years, right? From 2017 to 2008 is 1 year, and from 18 to 19 is 1 year, so you have 2 years. So this time your N, which is a period, should be two periods rather than 1. So same thing, use 125 divided by the stuff in the bracket, which is the table A value. You should be able to get your present value. So if I use 125 divided by stuff in the bracket, I should get $86.81, right? So this be the figure, which is this figure. As you can see, this is your present value. When you compare it with your table, option A and option B is clearly less. Since option A and option B, you have the same present value and future value, and option C has a lower present value, you're gonna choose option A or option B. Doesn't really matter because it gives you the same amount, but definitely not option 3 if you want more money.